talkers in South Carolina. This is her first time speaking since meeting with Donald Trump for Secretary of State as a possible position.
I was wondering if she was just kind of sitting there at the governor's mansion in Columbia, waiting and staring at the phone saying, please call, Donald, please call. But it looks like we haven't learned out yet, but maybe we'll find out in a few minutes whether or not Nikki Haley has accepted a position in Donald Trump's cabinet. That's going to be interesting because not only Nikki Haley is mentioned as a possible cabinet choice, Mitt Romney could possibly be Secretary of State. Also, Lieutenant Governor Henry McMaster is also up for a job in the administration. Now, one of the theories that's being floated around out there, and I hate to use the word rumor, so we'll use the word theory, is that Henry McMaster has really been lobbying for Nikki Haley to get a job in the administration so that he can move into the governor's chair for the next 10 years. He would definitely move into the governor's chair.
But what if he's offered the job?
If he's offered, I don't see why he wouldn't take it. He's been one of the most outspoken supporters of Donald Trump since the beginning. But that would also mean another interesting scenario here in South Carolina, that Hugh Leatherman would move into the governor's position. And Hugh Leatherman, a very, very influential, very powerful man up in Columbia. So we've got a lot of, the drama's not over.
No.
It's not over.
And it really is drama. I hate to use that word, but it really is.
It absolutely. And it's affecting, I think, South Carolina more than any other state right now. It's very interesting to watch. We'll see what Governor Haley has to say.
And something else that's a big top talker is Dylan Roof and the mental competency. People who went yesterday to speak in front of the judge about wanting that hearing to be open, they were upset because they said, also, you're giving us so much anxiety keeping these postponed hearings, like postponing these hearings.
Well, sometimes the wheels of justice turn slow, and your anxiety today might be better than your anxiety down the road. Sitting there watching the potential of this case or this conviction being overturned on appeal would be a lot more anxiety causing than just getting through his competency hearing. I think Judge Gergel is doing a fantastic job. He wants to make sure that all the I's are dotted, all the T's are crossed, so that when Dylan Roof is convicted, it's going to stand up under appeal.
Exactly. And you know, we all know this really. The past couple weeks there's been a lot of turmoil around the nation, to say it lightly, I guess. Tell me a little bit about, your thoughts, because Thanksgiving's around the corner. It's really time to come together and to kind of mend those fences if they were broken.
Exactly. I had a full head of hair when this election started, and it's gone because of all the stress. But listen, folks, I know there are a lot of people out there that are protesting. They're not happy with the way the results turned out. No matter what you think about it, at least we in America should be extremely thankful that we as citizens get to participate in the process. And as many problems as this country has, we are still the greatest nation on the face of the earth, and there are a lot more people trying to get in than there are trying to get out. So sorry for all the celebrities who said they were going to move to Canada. This is still an amazing place to live, and we need to be thankful each and every day for everything that we have here.
Charlie James from WTMA, that is our weekly Talking Points. Thanks so much, and stay with us. We'll be right back.